Damu Kiwe, Professor Melly Melly, the Hood Postman. You know that vibe. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first of the 15th. My beloved brother, my elder brother, I gotta correct you on some of your information. I don't know how you come to that conclusion, brother, but I got to help you out. This professor talking to you. I'm coming from a sincere, dear place. I'm coming to you with love. I am not trying to admonish you, but I am here to correct you. First and foremost, my dear beloved brother, Ayatollah, Marv. We never met, but I did get a chance to see your video on Cam Capone TV, okay? First and foremost, you made the statement that you were born in 1950. Most of the guys, if you go back and take a look, Raymond Washington was born in 1953. He started the Crips. That made you 3 years older than Raymond. So therefore, the Pyrus came in around about 71. So most of those guys, they were relatively around 17, 18, and 71, right? Maybe it might be a few late, but however it goes, brother, your timeline don't fit. That means that cats that were younger than you happen to be following. Secondly, I grew up in Fruittown. I know a bunch of people from over there. I know a few people from over there out what we know as the trees. That came later, brother. There was Westside Pyru, there was Fruittown Pyru, okay? Before there were Fruittown Pyru, there was the Order Street Boys. Now, you had people like Zachary McGee, Ronald Mosey, Tim Mosey, Jeffrey Evers, Frank and Tone, that lived over what we would know referred to as the trees. If none of them brothers claimed the trees at that time, they were either claiming Fruittown or either looters. There was no trees, brother. It just wasn't. It just was no trees. Now, I don't know how you can figure and how you doing your math, but if you're doing your math correctly, that makes you older than everybody. That makes you older than Raymond Washington. If you were born in 1950, that makes you older than anybody that you the oldest gangbanger. But yet you made the misstatement, you are the gang. Brother, I don't know at what point and what time you decide to enter this thing we call a gangbang, because I know quite a few people. I ain't saying that you're not from where you're from, but I am saying is that your timeline doesn't meet. Secondly, let me get to my other point. You made the statement that Boot Hill, that Nutty Block used to be Boot Hill. Those are two separate entities. Boot Hill reside between Center and the Canal. There was some apartments across the street from Park Village. That was Boot Hill. There was a guy over there. His name was Boot Hill Reggie. He sacrificed a chicken, and he used to come out every morning hollering, "This is Boot Hill, effing whatever." Okay? Thirdly, 165 block was 165 block. They were next to the graveyard, true enough. Then they became NBC, which was Neighborhood Block Crip. Then they became Nutty Block. They were never Boot Hill. The swamps were exactly where the swamps, because they were the swamps, because it was literally swamps over there. They were tadpoles, crawdads, and fish. That's why they call it the swamps. My grandmother and aunties used to go over there fishing when I was a little kid, and also there was rabbits. And then you made the statement of saying Spooktown. Spooktown came out somewhere 72, 73. After the Grandies, after Park Village, after Boot Hill. Then it came Spooktown. So, brother, I'm just helping you correct some of your information, and your timeline doesn't fit, because that make you older than the Crips, that make you older than the Pyrus, and obviously that make you a late bloomer. Because if you was really about that life, you would have been the one that established it, that opened up to initiate the Pyru. But we all know that's not true, because there was Puddin' Baba Louie, there was Yellow Ice, there was Vince, there's Lil Nate. There were all those people over there, okay? Sugar Man. You mentioned Mickey Blue. You mentioned Victor Murphy. I know them as well. Mickey Blue, Judd Williams, Eddie Polk, all those guys over there. Yaya, Bob Murphy, all those guys. They were never into the Pyru gang. Pyru was a street. We're putting in all those other guys, the Baba Louie, the Sockeye, and his other brothers, and Vince, and Nate, Yellow Ice, and all those cats. They formulated that, right? But what made it bigger was the East Side Pyru, because the East Side Pyru wasn't confined to a street. It was a mass area that went from Rosecrans, starting from Long Beach Boulevard, and some parts in the K Street and Pearl Street near Santana. All that, all the way back up to Atlantic, all the way back across Long Beach Boulevard, all the way back across Compton Boulevard, and all the way into Linwood. That made the East Side Pyrus the biggest gang. Okay? Because at that time, the West Side was confined to a street, although the other streets picked up and became part of that. But what I'm telling you, if you look at the topography and the geographic location of the East Side Pyru, they was never confined to a street. They accepted the Pyru based on that street name, but they was much larger than that. And I don't think you understand that. Now, I've heard of Herman Jr., I heard of Savage, I heard of Volcano, I heard of Ray Johnson, Russell Johnson. I heard of China Dog, of course. I heard of Bojangles. I heard of Vince, which was part-time. Steppenwolf. Cash, Jimmy Butler. There was countless of dudes that were around at that time from that East Side, just like I named the guys from the West Side. There was nobody named Ayatollah. Ayatollah came about during the 80s when they kidnapped that was the Jimmy Carter administration. That could have been what was that, 78, 77 somewhere, 76, 77, somewhere, Jimmy Carter administration, when they kidnapped the American people off the airplane. And Jesse Jackson had to go over there and negotiate for the release of those. That's when you probably first heard that name. Is the Ayatollah Khomeini. No disrespect, bro, but check your timeline. Because if you was born in 1950, that makes you a real elder. And all the dudes that you were running with were younger than you. How did they lead you? But I digress, bro. I love you. I wish everything the best for you. But when you go on these shows, make sure that the timeline meets the story. Therefore, you won't be mistakenly in your dialogue, your monologue, because the timeline and the years and the date, time, and places will make sense. I know Wolf. I knew White Boy from Cedar Block. Wolf and Sam Fountain. That's one of my partners. Like I tell you, in Fruit Town, there was the Orange Street Boys. before they were Fruitown Piru. Piru, you did have that point. Piru Street do run all the way from the west side all the way. It ends at Willowbrook. I don't know if it goes across Avalon. I believe it goes across Avalon, actually, over to the 135s. They were around for a long time. Can't take that from them. But your timeline, as far as the treetops goes, I remember Ron Lauderdale. I know Ron Lauderdale. Rest in peace. I never heard him say he was from Treetop. But if I'm mistaken, y'all help me out. Because I'm here to help my beloved brother, my elder, because I think his timeline is wrong. But anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe, man. This is what I do. Check your history, brother. We out. And to put Ayatollah really to the rest, really to rest, LB don't even know him.